Hello, and welcome back to Town to City. Our town is just exploding in size, and we are adding new services, new features, and new beautiful districts every single episode. In our last episode, we built this beautiful bourgeoisie district so we can give our upper class some of the finer things in life to enjoy. And I am ready to kick things off and build even more because we need more population so that we can upgrade and get even more stuff. So let's take a look at what we need to do this episode. So as you can see here, we're a little more than 10 residents shy of what we need to upgrade to a large city. But that's okay because there are a few things that we unlocked that we haven't actually added to our town. I don't know that we have enough space to actually put every single thing in, but I would like to pick a couple of these nicer things like the water ballet or the social club and see if I can't build one of those, decorate it up, and then put a few more bourgeoisie houses in to get our bourgeoisie population up to where it needs to be to move on to a large city. The reality is we're actually running out of space in this town and we're going to be having to move on to a new map pretty soon. I've got this little space right here next to the amusement park and just across the street from that new fancy district we put in, so we can definitely get some things built in there. I've got a little bit of space in this corner here on a slope. I'm not sure what I could do with that, but as you can see as I mouse across the border, everything else is getting pretty full. We've got a little space here in front of our circular Artisan district, and then here in the back we've got a bunch of space up on this hill and back up into this corner. So we're not completely devoid of space, but it's starting to get really tight. Now, looking through what we built and what we haven't built, if I mouse over all these things, you can see where it tells me at the bottom of the window how many times I've used it in this city. So I've got at least one of each of these placed in. And if I look at the apparel, it's the same. We've got one or two or even three of some of these things placed in. For leisure, I've got everything, I think, except for the social club. So we could definitely look into putting one of those in. And if I look down here in the housewares section, I've got the Lutier and the candle maker yet to put in. Under public services, I believe I have everything so far, but there are a few more things to unlock. So the first thing, let's take a look at the social club and see how big it is. The social club is quite a large structure, but there's a lot going on here. And I think this would definitely fit the bourgeoisie look and feel if we wanted to put a few more bourgeoisie houses around it to get the population up. What else did we have here? Under housewares, we need to do a candle maker and a luthier. So the luthier is smaller, not quite as big, but very beautiful, and it's got more of those mosaics on them that I like. And then we also have the candle maker, which is kind of a neat building, but not quite as extravagant as the other ones, but it's definitely a possibility. Everything else has been put in. So let's take a look at what we can do with this social club. I think I like this, and I like the idea of putting it in. So let's get the sun to come up, because I hate building in the dark. And right here, across the street from all of this stuff, this might be a good place to put it. The other option would be over here, which could be kind of neat, meaning it would connect this district and this district using this nice big building, and then we could do like a little decorative park walkway area here. Got some options. Let's see what we can come up with. All right, so we've got our social club all put in, and I do read the comments, and in the last episode, there were some comments saying, Splat, we missed the flowers. Where's the flowers? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you got flowers. We got flowers everywhere. There's flowers in the windows, there's flowers in the bushes, there's flowers out front, there's flowers surrounding shrubberies that look like cats and dogs. There's a lot of flowers here, and I'm kind of in the Christmas mood, so I went ahead and put wreaths around the windows because it's December, and that just seems like the thing to do. As a family, we put up our Christmas tree last week, and I am enjoying the season. I am a sucker when it comes to the holidays. We've got candlelight all the way around. We got flowers. We've got a little fence that kind of holds it off and keeps it separate from the rest of the area. And then I decided to go with this really cool, I think it's cool at least, manicured lawn look. I used the landscaping tools to draw angled grass cuttings and put some little bushes that have been trimmed up and things in there. And I think it kind of really pulls the whole thing together and makes it look like a fine, I don't know, English manor with a well manicured lawn. And I love the look of it. So we've got our first structure put in on our way to the next level of our town, and that is the social club. What do you think? Do you think it ties the area together? Does it match what I built the other day with all of the bourgeoisie stuff? And does it connect well into the artisan district above it? You guys let me know what you think. Is there anything missing? I do need to continue the grass up to the back, I realized, but I can get that done in a second. Okay, so another thing that we're missing in our city is a Lutier. And if I remember correctly, this is a smaller building. Yes, that is correct. I think if I move some of these trees out of the way, I can probably fit one of those things in right here and get it decorated up. I know it's a little bit squished, but like I said, we're running out of space and I want to make sure I have enough housing area because we're going to need a lot of people to work at these structures. So let me go ahead and try to put one of these in. All right, so I decided to try a few new techniques here with this Lutier store. I decided to use the rocks a little bit more as barriers and to drive the shape and the style of the design. So I wanted to turn the building sideways, and the reason for that is because on the back here is an absolutely beautiful design, and I felt like it would have been wasted putting that up against the cliff. So the Lutier is facing backwards so that we can see the beautiful woman playing, I guess it's a cello. go. And I use the stepping stones to kind of create a curb or a barrier between the road and the house. I use the vines to break up the corners and lots of flowers because I'm ready to get back into doing some color. And then on top of that, here in the front, I decided to use the rocks here just to give another bit of layering height, because you get the flower, you get the road that sits low, then you get the flowers are a little bit taller, then you get the rocks are a little bit taller, and the bushes are the tallest, and the trees are in the back, and it just creates a layered look. And I really like how that turned out. So we've got our social club and we've got our Lutier put in, and I think, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am, I have connected the Artisan district and the Bourgeoisie district quite well with these builds. It just really flows together really nicely and kind of looks like it belongs together. I didn't want to clutter it up too much because above I built that seating area with the viewing where people could go out and look, and it just wouldn't be right if it was too much stuff going on. So what do you think? In the comments, drop what you would have done. If there's something you like, if there's something you think I should change, let me know, but I really like how this turned out. It's a really good transition, and I think we're ready now to move on to another structure and then put in some houses to get our population up. So both of the structures over here require artisans to work there, and we need a lot of artisans. As you can see, we have no unemployed artisans. So I saw this little plot of ground here and thought to myself, why not put some artisans in here? So I put this little road here that kind of separates it back. We'll do something that we don't do very often. I'm not going to time lapse this. I'm going to walk you through what I do when I build and how I think. So I'm going to remove this table, remove this tree. I don't need them anymore. I put this wall in to separate this housing from what I'm going to do next. I hate building in the dark, so I usually wait until it gets to be about 10 o'clock. That seems to be some of the best lighting, 10, 11, and 12. And I'm going to go ahead and hit pause. All right, so what I'm looking at here is we've got some artisan housing here, and I'm only going to be able to fit one of these in because they're so large. So which one do I think is going to fit the best with the style we've got? There are farms across the street. There's regular housing here. So I'm thinking I want to go with the one that has the peaked roof, like the farms and like the houses. I just like the consistency of that. And these houses back here are kind of the pink reddish color, but these buildings are a little bit of a whiter color. So let's look through. We've got blue. I think blue is a bit much here. It's not really going to match. Red could work. The orange, not really a good fit. The white I kind of like because the bottom is a peach color, kind of a pink rosy, and that does fit these houses over here. And the top does fit this over here. So I see kind of a color match. The yellow, nah, doesn't look good in my opinion. So I think I want to go with the white. And then I have to decide which way do I want it to face. Do I want it to face over here to where I can build like a long winding roadway that connects over here? I think that's a little odd because these people would be living here because they want to be part of all of what's going on here. So I think I'm going to kind of angle it actually up away from the road a little bit. I'm going to drop it in, give myself enough space in case I want to do any designing next to that wall. And then we're going to speed it up, get it built in, and we're just going to see what it looks like after we go 3 stories because I'm going to need to put a lot of families in here. So now I'm going to upgrade it, and I think that looks okay. So let's go ahead and give it a driveway. I like to curve the driveways both ways just to make it look a little more natural that they're walking. And now I go through and try to decide what kind of a structure do I want this to be. I'm thinking it's a little close to the road back here. I can't build anything back here to block that off. So I'm actually going to erase a little bit of this driveway. And I'm going to move the house forward just a touch, just to give myself some space back here. Now, what kind of look do I want for this? These buildings all around here have lots of color and flowers, and I'm ready to get back into the whole mood of flowers again. But I don't want to go just flowers all the way up the front. So one of the things that I've noticed with the artisan houses is that they look pretty good with awnings. So let's find ourselves an awning, and I want contrast on the awnings. So we could go with like the green, and it's a little boring. Yellow might be okay. Pink matches the roof, and the blue clashes with the green in my mind. So let's go yellow. Kind of matches the shutters a little bit. There we go. And we're just going to randomly pop 3 of those in to give it a little bit of texture. And now it's time for flowers. And let's take some potted planters. Since we got the yellow awnings, what would be a nice contrast with that? How about the bright red? Because we got that white face of the wall. I'm going to put those in, and then down here, I'm going to switch over to a different kind of flower and just drop that in there. Good. We've still got some flat space around here that I think we could make look a little nicer. So we're going to go to our farm tools because these harvest crates, I like putting them up here to kind of fill in and dead spots. And I just got to decide which one of these I want to go with. It really doesn't matter to me. I kind of like that one because it's got the flower. So let's drop that in right there. And let's take a look at some lights and see if there's any lights that are going to make our house look a little nicer. Front door needs a light. And I think I want to take one of these little lanterns and we're going to put it right here next to this window as if they could reach out and turn on a light when they're doing their laundry. And then we might even put a candle under here if we can get away with it. There we go. We'll set the laundry on fire. That'll be fun. All right, in the front, we've got some blank spaces and we have different options for that. You could always go chairs. You could always go planters. We could even do a wall fountain if we want to. You guys like those a lot. I'm thinking chairs because of this park across the street. I think they would like to sit and look at that. So I'm going to grab the green metal benches because they contrast. And instead of putting them on the path exactly, we're going to angle. No, you know what? Let's go straight. Let's go straight. We're going to put one there and we're going to put a light right next to it because someone would sit there and read. We're going to grab ourselves a planter and we're going to put a planter over here and we're just going to go with a nice colorful one like so. And the front of our building is starting to look a little bit better. Let's swing over to the side and take a look at this. Now we've got all this space right here in the corner and we have to do something to separate this from the road because it's an artisan's house. They've got a little bit of money and they're not just going to put up with having direct access to the road like that. So what kind of fences do we have? Got the low metal fence. I feel like I've been using those a little too much. We've got the hedges across the street. We could go hedges here and just continue the look. That might be okay. Let's take a look and see what that looks like. I also like the hedges because they're extremely flexible as a fencing option because they don't have bendable joints that are required in a similar way that other ones do. We're just going to run that up to that and just stop. Let's take a look at what that looks like. That's not bad. It's not too tall, but it does give some separation and it matches this over here. And speaking of matching, we're going to grab some small trees and we're going to copy what we got over here just to give a similar vibe. And then all we got to do is come in with some stones and some different grass textures, bushes, that kind of stuff to get this all filled in. What about maybe putting in like a little flower planted area here on the side? So I'm going to grab the paint tool. We're going to go with the dark soil. We're going to make this small and dithered and we're going to come right through here and we're going to color in. And then we're just going to plant some flowers there. And I think we're just going to go with the colorful flowers. I wish I could put these a little bit closer to the building, but things kind of clip out when they do that. And I kind of hope that's something they change in the future so that I don't have this gap between the flowers and the building. But there's really nothing I can do about it. So we're just going to fill this in and make this look a little nicer. There we go. So we got a little flower garden. And then how about some vines running up the wall? Because it is a big flat surface. We'll just cycle through the different types of big vines that we have, see if we've got something that looks kind of nice. And then we can come in with these small vines and just finish up the look. Just filling in any space that I think looks a little empty and needs a little bit more texture. There's really no science to this. I'm just eyeballing everything. And then frame rates be damned. Let's put some flowers on it because it needs flowers. Now, do we want to go with a multicolored one or do we want to pretend like this is a singular one? Where I live, we have these clematis vines that grow that have these beautiful blue flowers on them and they just grow everywhere wild. And so I think I want to try to make this like one of those clematis vines just because I think it's a really nice look. So we're just going to randomly drop some flowers in wherever the game will let me. Sometimes it's a little bit weird and picky about how it works, but we're going to get it figured out here. Then we're going to grab these purple ones because the clematis vines that are in our area also have some different shades of blue that grow on them, and this is the closest I got to another shade. So we're going to drop some of these in wherever the game will let me. We're going to be looking at this from a distance, so it doesn't always have to be exactly on the vine. You can just go right next to it and that works just fine. And so now we've got clematis vine going up. So coming around to the back, we're going to continue with some of the designs from the front with the yellow awnings. Oh, I got my filters turned on. There we go. Yellow awnings. We're going to go right here and we're going to go right here. We have some amazing opportunities for candles because we have these balconies and I think it makes for some really neat designs when you do this kind of stuff. There we go. And of course, we need some flowers. And then why don't we do a few more of these things just to fill in. There we go. And you guys love fountains in the walls. So I think we're going to do a wall fountain over here. And then down here on the bottom, I think we're going to turn this area into another little flower garden. And this one's going to have a flower gardening station built into the wall like that. And I might even put a few boxes and things in just to make it look like it's a worked area. These skinny boxes here tend to look a little bit, in my opinion, like flower crates that you bring flowers home from the nursery. nursery, so I like to scatter these around. Like someone just went to the nursery and bought some extra flowers, so they're getting ready to plant. And you know what? If you're gonna have flowers, you're probably gonna want to water your flowers. So we'll put a pump back here. I wish you could put the pumps on the walls, but you can't. All right, now we got to put the dark dirt in over here. And this person's going to be growing some flowers. And instead of using the flower props, because frame rates and all that, we're going to zoom way out. I've got a couple of farms over here. We're going to click on a farm. I think this one might be good to go. And we're going to edit the farm. And this one, yeah, you can see here on the meter, we've still got space to work with. So now we're going to come back down here. And what do they want to grow in here? Are they going to grow roses? Are they going to grow lilacs? Or are we going to grow wildflowers? I like the wildflowers for this particular area. So we're just going to kind of come in here and just click where the wildflowers grow. There we go. And now they got a little wildflower garden back here that they work. And every wildflower garden needs a little path that leads up to it. So we're going to go like this. We're just going to draw a path out to the road. And now we got a wall fountain to make. We go white or we go dark. Of course, we're going to go dark because it's a white wall and we need to have contrast. So there's that. And I've already got a thought in my head. I'm going to use wheels on either side of the fountain because I like that look and I like the way that the round shapes complement each other. And then do these fit in? I think they do. And we're going to go with the beehive because there's a wildflower garden back there, just like so. Can we get away with putting any stepping stones in front of the fountain? Will the game let us? Is it too close to that building? It's not. So here we go. Randomize. Oh, you know what? I just had an idea. Oh, did I just have an idea? Let's see if this works. Take out path. Yes. This is going to be cool. And I want to take the stepping stones and use those on the random setting to make the pathway. Okay, let me just kind of get an outline for what my path is going to look like first so that I can go in and fill it in and I know where I'm going. Always plan ahead when you're doing things. Try to think about where you want to go first, because if you don't, you're going to waste a lot of time doing erasing and doing things again. Also, don't be afraid to get away from perfectly symmetrical shapes. I know it's really tempting to get everything to line up and to mirror everything and to make everything nice and mathematical, but like this little footpath here, sometimes a little bit of randomness is good. And so it's okay if the pathway gets a little bit wider at some points and narrower at others. Because if you were building this with rocks that you had dug up somewhere, rocks aren't symmetrical. They don't always line up. I know that if you went to visit like, I don't know, Machu Picchu and saw how perfectly they quarried and did every single rock, you would think differently. But the reality is not everybody is going to put that much effort into lining rocks up. So it's okay. We're not the Inca. We're not the Egyptians building the pyramids. We are simply people playing a video game, having fun and relaxing. And that is the key. Build what makes you happy. Or in my case, read the comments and see that people want more flowers and be extremely happy. Now we got a little footpath that kind of goes back there. That's neat. I've never done that before. Woohoo! And then I think we're going to cap that off with just some bushes. All right. Hopefully that was a little bit helpful. Kind of walking you guys through my process of how I do things. I'm leaving this wall blank on the back. I just put the fountain back here. I don't mind having this blank wall because it faces in towards the rest of the city. And the reality is the more assets I put in, just the more laggy the game gets. Sometimes you just have to call it. The only thing that's missing from this house are people to move in and perhaps a cat to sit on the balcony. So let's get some people put in, get a pet adopted, and I think this one's all done. I also want to take a moment and talk about one of the mechanics in the game here. I don't know if you realize this, but when you're putting people in houses, I'm sure everybody who's played this game understands that there are different types of residents who want to have different types of houses. These people here, it says here they want to live in a farmer residence. I don't have any of those available. So what I can do is I can hit this little X button and dismiss the family. These guys are just regular people who just want to live in a house. And it doesn't really matter what kind of house you put them in. They're going to start with a base happiness of 0%, and then it's going to go up depending on how the house is decorated and what kind of amenities are nearby. At this point in the game, I can be a little bit more picky about who I want to put in my houses. So I'm actually going to dismiss these guys as well and just not put them in this new house. But if you sit here and wait a while for the train to arrive, you'll eventually get new people arriving who want to have a house to live in. So let it run for a little while, and I'll bring you back when the train drops off some more people. Okay, so the train has dropped some people off, and now what we got here is they would like to have a pet goose. Well, if you give them a pet goose, they're going to automatically get, I think it's a 30% happiness bonus. And so if I take these people and put them in this this house, right now they have a -10 happiness because they don't have a goose. But when I put a goose in there, they're going to get happy. I also have people who want to live with service buildings nearby. Now, this house does not have any service buildings nearby, so they would have a -10% happiness to start with. So I'm going to go ahead and dismiss them as well. And I'm going to dismiss them as well too, because I don't want to have any neutral people. What I'm looking for are people who want to live near flowers, or they want to live near the water, or they want to live near trees, or something that's going to give them a bonus to their happiness score. And while we wait, let's go ahead and adopt a goose if we have one. Can we adopt a goose? We cannot, so we're going to wait for the next arrival of pets. All right, so now we're talking. We have people who want to live near farm decorations. Well, these signs and these little wheels all count as farm decorations, as do the wheel or the pump and stuff that I put in the back. So if you click on them, you'll see that moving them in here gives you a 20% happiness bonus. So we're going to go ahead and throw that family in there. And these guys want to live near beehives. Well, I just so happened to have put wildflowers with the bees back there. Let's see if it's enough to get me a bonus. It is 20%. There we go. So now once I get a goose put in, I have added people to this house who are going to provide a 20% bonus, a 20% bonus, and a 30% bonus to happiness. Let's go over here and see if this is reset yet. It has not. We shall wait, and I'll come back and tell you what we find. All right, so now we have a goose. So I'm going to go ahead and adopt the goose, and we're going to assign it to this house that we just made. And anybody who wants a goose, it's going to highlight in green, and people who really don't want a goose, going to highlight in red. Everybody else is just the base happiness or whatever it tells you it's going to do. So this one's green. We're going to click here, and it's this family here, and they're going to get a goose right there, and it's going to give them a 30% happiness bonus. And so now when you click on this house, you'll see you get 20%, 20%, 20%. These guys are going to help keep that happiness number up in the 100% where you want it. Just a little tip on some of the mechanics of the game. So we still need more artisan housing for the Lutier and the club that we put in. So I'm thinking I might be able to squeeze a few artisan houses in here and decorate them up. So let's see what we can do. We got the two houses put in and decorated, and I'm playing with some new color palettes. I saw all the autumn decorations in the decorations box, and I thought, why not? Let's just have some fun with it. So once again, using the oranges and the yellows and the browns, and just trying to contrast it with some of the pink lilacs and the gardening in the back. And then what do you think of this thing here? I like this. I decided to try a little cobblestone walkway up to the front doors, and I think that's a really neat look, and I'm kind of excited to give it a try on my other map where I'm not using the sand walkways, but where I'm using the plazas and the bricks to see if I can actually get like an old school cobblestone trolley road kind of look. But anyway, this was an experiment. I think I like it. It's okay, and it allows us to move in 6 more families to work in the artisan shops that we just installed on the other side of town. So let's go ahead and get people moved in and get those guys all set up with jobs to make everybody happy. I've been watching these two houses for a little while, and while I now have enough artisan class residents to complete all of the job requirements that I have, I've noticed that these guys unfortunately don't seem to have access to any of the services, and they definitely don't have any luxury, which makes them very, very upset. And it's weird because these places are just right over here, but if you look at the green line, for some reason it stops right there and they can't get anything up to these houses, which I find very odd because it goes all the way over here and reaches without any trouble. So I'm not sure what the deal is and why these things stop, because this one reaches all the way over, but it won't go up to the house. So is it because I put all of these stones in the way? Has that messed up the pathway to the houses? Can you not put props in the roads? Let me try a few things and see if I can figure out what's going on here. This is really weird. So apparently now that I have erased all these stepping stones out of the street, they now have access to the patisserie and they have the chapel and the school, which means that even though these are called stepping stones in the decorations, apparently they block roadways. So you can't use those on a road or else people can't get through. So maybe instead of doing a roadway, I guess I can just do maybe like a border like this and still kind of get the effect I want. It's kind of a shame because I really like the cobblestone look. I wonder if I used like wider roads and just put the stepping stones down the center, kind of like I do with my upgraded roads, if that would be something that the game would allow. But apparently completely covering your road in these stepping stones removes the ability for the transporters to actually get the goods to where they need to go. So I learned a lesson. I can't do that design even though I wanted to. And so instead I'm just going to do this little border here and we'll call it good. So let's put a candle maker in, and I'm thinking the candle maker can go up here on the bluff, and this will be a start to our new kind of final district we're going to build with the upgrades that we get once we get enough people. Well, it's a little bit difficult to build on the edge of the map because I can't push the camera up any farther to get a good zoom in, but basically this is what we ended up with. I did the candle maker. I decided not to decorate the back of it because you're never going to see it anyway, because if you swing the camera around, you've got this false border thing kind of blocking the way, and it's just not something I'm going to look at very often, so why waste the FPS decorating? But in the front, we went ahead and kind of decorated up a little bit. I was a little surprised. I struggled to get anything to attach to these windows, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I did put a little sign out front with beehives and things because it's a candle maker, and we did a little bit of landscaping with some rocks and some flowers in the front, and then around the side I figured the candle maker, although he's not a producer of beeswax, he would be a hobbyist and would have his own little bee farm back here. So we've got some beehives with some flowers and some gardening tools and things, a water pump and a wheelbarrow and a flower station and things, and it seems to have made these guys happy. We don't have to worry about them being upset anymore. They're cool. They don't have any apparel, they don't have any entertainment, that doesn't seem to be bothering them very much. So happy people, good. Oh hey, look at this. We've got another request at the mayor's house. Let's check it out. Hooray, we're getting a pet cat, a pet cat. Pet cat! Certainly, but right now our place isn't ideal for a cat. Uh-oh. What do they want? We have to give them the bestest home possible. So we need some more space, maybe a fish pond. Ooh, fish ponds. I don't think I've seen that yet. Are we gonna get a new decoration tool? Ooh, fish pond. Nice. Why would you want a fish pond if you had a cat? Because the cat would eat the fish. Seems a little odd. Oh, of course. We have to put a fish pond up here. Wow, are you serious? The one place in the entire map where there's absolutely no hope. Oh, move the house to a location without other houses or shops nearby. Place a fish pond for the cat. Place trees around the house for the cat. Place bushes around the house for a cat. So I have to pick this house up and move it somewhere where there aren't any other houses, and then I gotta build this stuff around it. You know what? This is gonna be one of those situations where I just complete the quest and then delete everything and put everything back to where it goes, because this is insane. There we go. All right, let's see how the cat likes the new home. Okay, let's go play with the fishies. Gets up. That's it. What fun. Settles down again and purrs. I guess he's a low energy cat. And we got 500 for that. Okay, that was fun. At least we have fish ponds now. I'll definitely use that when we decorate in the future. All right, so I got my employment all figured out, and I got those other houses built with some artisan housing and got some more people in. And we were able to get more of the bourgeoisie put into their houses. And now we are ready to upgrade to large city. And this is gonna be pretty cool. Let's see what we got. How big does the train station get this time? Oh, there's flags in the way. I don't really notice any difference, do you? Maybe it's a little bit different. Oh, okay, yeah, I guess it's a little taller or more decorative. I'm not really sure what happened. But they're all happy, so good for them. All right, tier 7 is unlocked. We have more things to research. Let's see what's in here. Increased vault size, maximum money. That is gonna happen because I'm constantly running out of money and having to recharge. A fine art auctioneer cathedral. Oh, that looks cool. I don't think we have enough space to put this stuff in. We may have to, what is this? Oh, stronger beer? Yes, please. We may have to wait and put some of this stuff in on another town that we build, because I don't know if we have enough room for all this stuff. But let me let the game run and I'll collect some research points and we'll get all this stuff researched, and then we'll take a look at it and decide which ones we want to work with next to construct in our city. Well, while we're waiting for that research to accumulate and get things done, I happen to have another request here, and they've been giving us some pretty cool decorative stuff. So let's see what the next request is. I'd like to be able to get more things to decorate with. There is a legend handed down from generation to generation that one day our family will be surrounded by fields of violet. Oh, really? I've already decorated this. You're gonna make me do lavender now? Stretching towards the far horizon. Tell us, Mayor, will this legend come to pass today? I'd rather it didn't. Huh, can I move this? Plant and harvest. How do you harvest? Huh. Well, this is annoying because I've already got this all decorated out for my cows, and I don't want to take away my cows. Genuinely at a loss of how I'm supposed to do this. Lavender? Ay, ay, ay. They really got to rethink the quest system. You shouldn't have to destroy your town. Wait a minute, can I move? Oh, wait. There's a family that lives here. Can I just move the family to a different farm? That would be cool. I wonder if that would change the mission. I want to see what happens if I just move the family to a different farm. It does! Hallelujah! I've figured out how to do this without ruining everything. So we can just go ham here. Lavender, baby! There you go. Is that enough lavender? That is enough lavender. Okay, we need a water pump and we need a scarecrow. Can do. Water pump. Let's put a spooky scarecrow. Does that count? It does. All right. I could see them, the lavender fields of legend. Rejoice, child, the lavender is upon us. We never smelled such rich fragrance. Ah, you have fallen under its spell. This too was foretold as the touch of lavender. These people are absolutely nuts. Oh, a lavender arch. Okay, that is cool and that was worth it. I am happy with the lavender arch. And now we're gonna move you guys back over here. Where are we at? There we go. Get back in there. And as much as I enjoy this house, you're going away, and that goes there. And then we're gonna demolish the water pump and that. And let's take a look at our new lavender arch. Oh, I like that. Instead of lavender, that looks more like wisteria, I think. But you know, whatever. Can I put it on the wall? Oh, Happy, happy, happy sounds. Okay, cool. This is going to be fun. All right, that quest was worth it. So if you get that quest, do it. And this leads us to another quest. And since we're getting more decorations, let's give this one a try too. I visited the capital recently and have seen the future of grocery shopping. Have you now? Picture this, a gleaming market plaza with stalls of all sorts of grouped together, preferably right next to our station. Are you gonna make me destroy all of the decorations I've put next to the train station, providing maximum comfort and utility to customers? Wouldn't that be spectacular? I think I've kind of already done that, haven't I? Dear Mayor, could I ask you to build this market to end all markets? For me, I shall reward you handsomely. This I doubt, but we'll see. Okay, so where's the area? Well, I get to set the area, all right? So we're just supposed to build a big grocery store. So I've got groceries here, so I wonder if this is gonna be enough. Place every type of food stall, place a decorative fountain, yep. Place seating, yes. Place fences, we got fences. Look at me, I'm a mind reader. Guys, I am Nostradamus. I can tell the future. I am Samuel the prophet. I have found your donkeys. This has all come to pass. Behold, the mind of Splatt. Yes, yes! My vision for the future of groceries comes to fruition. I mean, was it really your vision? You said you saw it at the Capitol, but hey, I'm not gonna judge. I shall call it a hypermarket, okay? That wasn't a hypermarket. That was just a night market. Like they have those all over the world, whatever. No, that's a little grandiose. Well, that's kind of what we're doing here. Let's start with supermarket. Much better. Okay, if you want to. And I got 250 research points. Okay, that was... Oh, well, whatever. All right. At least I didn't have to build anything because I can see the future. I'm psychic. I have waited a while and I've got everything here researched except for this one here. I was gonna research the higher class taxes, but I got a pop-up message that says when I do that, my city hall exterior is going to change and all of the decorations that I have on the front of the building are going to go away. And I haven't decided yet if I want to deal with that. So let's do some other stuff first and find out if we want to take the time to come back and decorate another city hall or if we just want to build something new and fresh and interesting. All right, we have the mayor's statue. That's kind of okay. Wait, what's going on the top there? Was that supposed to be me? I look good in a top hat with a feather. All right, so we got the statue. I don't know, I want to do that. Oh, we did have this flower. Oh, that's cool. It's animated. Oh, that's very pretty. I think this thing is going to have to go in our city somewhere considering how many flowers I do. Oh, it's got a little bird on top. That's cool. Okay, the Fine Arts Auctioneer. That is a very interesting looking building, but it's also really big. This may not be the city for this thing unless I was to put it in over here to tie all this together, kind of like I did earlier where I tied all that together. We'll think about it. We have a theater. That is massive and expensive and definitely something that you build a district around. I don't know, again, if this is right for our city, but we'll keep this in mind. Then we have a restaurant. Okay, that's cool. I like this building. Not too big, definitely would fit in with our design and would help with a neighborhood that's kind of tying things together. All right, I think a university, guys, is something that you kind of dedicate a town to, as large as that is. You definitely need to have a university town. And I don't think Maryville is a university town. Nope, that's not gonna work. It's really cool though, I like that. And then the cathedral, it's beautiful, very cool looking, but very, very different from our town. Like, it would definitely draw your eye to the middle of the city as tall as it is, unless we decided to go over here and put it on the edge of town, but I feel like that would be wasting it. The cathedral might be one of those things that would be better in a different city as well. Have any of you guys ever been to Universal Studios in Florida, Orlando, and you see how they have the amusement park with all the stuff to do, and then outside of Universal Studios, they have like a big boardwalk with tons of like restaurants and shops and stuff? We could turn this into like a little shopping / restaurant eatery sliver here, and then we can just fill the rest of this in with housing because we're going to need lots of houses. We could do another cul-de-sac maybe. We're going to need lots of houses for people to work. I'm kind of liking that idea. Let's maybe give that a try. But before we do that, we have yet another quest. Let's see what the request is this time. Oh, these guys again. Our lavender is so beautiful. Yeah, you don't have any lavender, but I'm glad you have that memory. Certainly, my child, but woe is us. A twist in the legend? No, our lavender fields are getting raided by birds. Mayor, could you help chase them away? Why is this my job? I'm the mayor. Place fences or hedges to protect lavender. Place light sources to keep an eye on the lavender. Place scarecrows around the farm to scare away the birds. Place a doghouse to help scare away the birds. Okay, I'm not gonna move the family because I think I can just do all of this down here. birds are scattering. Yes, I totally did that. Scarecrows, fences, and a doghouse? A brilliant combination of bird dispelling techniques. If you say so. A few birdhouses would have done the trick too. Well, then why didn't you do that, child? Don't be so disrespectful. It's true. Oh, are you gonna give me birdhouses? Oh, that's cool. Okay, so now I have the birdhouse decorative item. That's fine. We'll destroy all this stuff and then get on to our restaurant destination. So it looks like we've got our eatery set up here. We got a restaurant, we got a bistro, and we got a patisserie. And now we just got to go through and decorate this and make it look like kind of a boardwalk area that services the amusement park. So let's see what we can do. So we've built our boardwalk area with the brand new restaurant asset that we unlocked, which I think is quite cool. And I really like this lavender archway that we unlocked by doing the quests. Okay, so you guys have convinced me the quests are worth it, even if some of them are kind of annoying and a little bit of a pain in the butt to do. They do give you some really cool decoration tools, and so thank you all very much for encouraging me to do those. I've been enjoying it. And these lavender archways, you could put them up as decorative flowers. You can do this, which is really cool. They work as these giant lavender wreaths that are really cool accents for buildings. These things are amazing. And of course you have archways, which are just very inviting and an exciting way to let people in. Up on top of the restaurant, we also have a romantic seating area with lots of candlelight areas, which allows you to look out over the lake and see what there is to see. And then out front, check this out. I use this in several places, but this is something that I discovered as I was playing around with things. One of the things that I used to really like to do in City Skyline was use something called the Anarchy mod, which allows you to basically place any prop or item or asset anywhere you wanted to. There was none of this invalid location stuff. And I've been trying to find that in Town to City. And the hedge bushes actually allow you to clip them into other assets. And so you can create these really neat layered structures. Like this one's around a fountain. This one over here I put around one of the copper animal statues. And then if you go farther into the eating area, you'll see one more place where I use this, and it's very, very cool, I think. So towards the back here where we have another bistro, which I decorated out with lots of candles and things, made it romantic. I put these trees back here, and I used the hedgerows, which you can see right here, to just kind of create this layered effect at the base of the tree. You've got the green hedge around, then you've got tall flowers, and then you've got short flowers. And I'm a big fan of layering things and getting different heights and depths to designs because I think it adds so much to a build when you do that. And it just really makes things pop. And I really, really hope that some of the fences and some of the other things that we have get this effect so that we can use it a little bit more often and not be held back to just the green hedges. Zooming out a little bit here, we've got the patisserie and the bistro, which were both decorated up to look nice and romantic as well and inviting, using more of those lavender flowers here and there, some trees, some candles, some different seating arrangements and things, just to make this wonderful little boardwalk dining area in front of our amusement park. And I think it looks really cool. I love some of the neat little techniques that I discovered that you can do, and some of the new tools that we have, and some of the new assets, and some of the new things that I've unlocked. And this game just keeps going on and inspiring me and surprising me every step of the way. So what do you think? Do you like the boardwalk area? Does it fit in? Are the swans and the ducks cute enough? Do you like the lavender archways? Is it everything you hoped it would be? I kind of think it is for me. I don't know what else I would do differently. I'm really, really happy with it. And I just think the whole thing just pulled together so well, and it blends right into the amusement park. I love it. Now, the only downside to this thing is I now need like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I now need 35 more people, and some of them have to be artisans, and then a mixture of artisans and townspeople to work at this place. And that is going to be a challenge. So I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go around the city, and we're going to find any buildings that aren't upgraded to their full height yet and get those done so I can move people in. And then we're gonna have to build more artisan housing to get more population to work at these new structures. And this little blank spot right here looks like the perfect place for another cul-de-sac. So I think that's what I'll do next. Check out what happens when you click on a birdhouse. Isn't that the cutest stuff? I love all the little details they put in this game. That is just the funniest thing. All right, we got our new cul-de-sac put in, and I think I like this one better than some of the other ones I've done, and I use some of the new assets. But the thing I want to draw your attention to is these ladders. I've had the ladders in the game for a long time, and I just haven't really been able to figure out what they're for. I just couldn't understand where I was supposed to use them or what the purpose was, but then I had this idea to use them to try to create some texture on these big flat walls, and I kind of like the ladder look. It just adds a new dimension and depth to things. We're going to ignore the fact that I haven't finished the back of that building, and it really just kind of pulls things together. So feel free to use this in your own design if you want to. The bird houses are just adorable, and like I said before, when you click on them, it's just the cutest thing. Little birdies poke their heads out and chirp, so that's kind of fun. I don't know if anything else does anything, but I'm just discovering new little details all the time. For the front of the building, again, I use the ladders to kind of create just a little bit more texture to the buildings. Got some vines, nothing that we haven't seen before. I'm using the candles a little bit more because they're kind of fun, and I really like, as I mentioned before, these lilac decorations. I'm really glad I did that thing. So this should be, I don't know, what is it, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. This is not going to be enough to work all the jobs that we have if there's full demand on those restaurants, but this is going to get us started. So let's throw some more people in here, and if we need to, we can do some more housing. After much clicking and fussing around, we finally got everybody moved in, and I think we have all of the jobs covered. And I'm really happy with the progress that we've made in this episode. Our boardwalk with the restaurants and things is just epic looking and is wonderful to behold. I got to try some new things with a new cul-de-sac over here, and I discovered that using ladders to texture some of the buildings is a really, really cool idea. So that's something I'm really happy about, and I'm excited to continue exploring that even further. We managed to tie together the bourgeoisie and artisan districts with a couple of little builds here with a social club and a really cool little lawn effect that I like, using some of the colors that we can use. And also we have the Lutier over here with the beautiful artwork on the back. And these two buildings really tied together these two districts and helped us to fill it in and make everybody super duper happy. Our city is looking absolutely amazing, and we're getting really close to being done with it. We are slowly but surely running out of space as we build, but that's a great problem to have because that means we've been able to design and have a lot of fun together. Now, I was scrolling through the research menu to see if I had enough bourgeoisie citizens to upgrade to the next level of town, and I happened to spot this. We had a little update that these guys snuck into the game, those sneaky little developers. We've got winter decorations, or as I like to call them, Christmas decorations. We've got snow, snowmen, snowy trees, snowy withered trees, presents, sleds, sleighs, large festive trees, small festive trees, and braziers. And you know what? We have enough research points to unlock it. So let's pop this open, but we're not going to look at it. I'm going to leave you guys on a cliff because I have some ideas for our next episode. But thank you all for hanging out with me for these builds. I'm really happy with how things are going. I would love to hear your ideas and your feedback on what you think I could have done differently or what I could do better. If you have any ideas for how to use the decorations and stuff, let me know. I read every single comment, and a lot of your comments have been super helpful, pointing out things that I missed in this game or things that I didn't quite really know. You guys are just as much of this city build as I am, and it's like I'm cheating. I've got a whole office full of architects who can help me out with really cool ideas, and you guys make these videos even better with your feedback. So hit it, the comments, let me know what you think, give me a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe if you want to see how the rest of this town is going to fill out, and if you want to see what we're going to do with all the winter/Christmas decorations in the next episode. But that's all we have time for today, so until next time, I'll catch y'all later.